Joined by Catholic women's basketball coach Matt Donohue as we get ready for the 2022-23 season to kick off here in a couple of days. Matt, great year last year, 20 wins and another bid to the NCAA tournament, the fifth in your time as the head coach here. What are you looking forward to the most about this season with a strong group returning?
Yeah, we're excited for the challenges that lay ahead of us this year. We've really kind of gone out and scheduled a really challenging schedule featuring a number of teams that competed in the national tournament. For the first time in some time, we really are a veteran-laden team with 5 seniors that are going to really lead the charge. And that we expect to be at the foundation of all that we do this year. So I'm excited to kind of see where this journey takes us. I know our women are excited to see where it takes us as well. They're working hard. They're hungry for more this year. And we've certainly put ourselves in a position to challenge ourselves to achieve more this year.
Yeah, you mentioned that schedule. Salisbury, Ithaca, and then obviously the 2 other conference teams that made it last year in E-Town and Scranton. What was the decision making to give yourself that challenging early season schedule? Is it because you knew you had a veteran bunch and you wanted to see what they have going into the year, or is it just kind of how the schedule fell?
Yeah, no, it was a little bit of both. We thought it would be really important for, in order for us to get where ultimately we want to be, we thought we needed to really challenge ourselves. So not only did we look at, teams within our region, but we looked outside of our region to look for and locate and identify opportunities to really push the boundary with what we can be as a team. Certainly looking at the Landmark Conference, sending 3 teams to the national tournament this year, we're a conference that has historically been very deep, and we've had teams each year that have been really great and regionally ranked that have not made our conference tournament. So we wanted to make sure we were in the best possible position to be ready for that challenge and the challenges that Landmark competition present. So we went out not just with our conference with national tournament teams, but if you look up and down, we'll open up with Dickinson, who is expected to be really strong at Centennial. We'll follow it up with a trip to York and Stevens and Institute of Technology. Both of them won 20 games last year and were ranked regionally as well. So our conference our season schedule is littered with teams that are going to be ranked and at the top of their region and in the country.
You talked about that veteran team that you have this year. 7 returners who have started a game last year, and then 3 who started 20 or more games. So how do you build the base around that, knowing that you have a couple of returners who have been there, done that, helped lead your team to a tournament, and now have to take on maybe an even bigger leadership role this year?
Yeah, we graduated some very talented and very strong players last year from a leadership perspective and from an ability perspective. So we have people moving into newer roles and different roles this year, both within our senior class and within our underclass as well. So for us, it's really about building off of the known, and we certainly have an expectation that there's a few young women that have done some pretty remarkable things in our program. The idea is we'll build out from what they've accomplished, and really goal 1 for us is to figure out how all the pieces fit together. And we certainly imagine it's going to take us some time to do that. We're playing differently this year than we have in past years. So for us, there's probably going to be some mixing and matching early on and kind of tinkering here and there, with the ultimate goal to be that by the time we get into February, we really have a firm grasp on what we are and who we are, and we've got that rotation set. But we realize it's going to take some time to get to that point, especially early in the season.
7 newcomers with 6 freshmen and a transfer. What have you seen from them so far, and how have they kind of integrated themselves into the program?
Yeah, some very talented young women that we've brought into the program. That's part and parcel to who Catholic University is. We have the opportunity to really draw some pretty incredible student athletes. What's been great to see is how seamlessly they've melted into things that we're doing. And a lot of that is really due to the leadership within our program. We've got a tremendous group of young women that are hungry. They, having advanced to the national tournament last year can do a couple of things for you. And chief among them, those experiences for us, has been the want and hunger for more. And so our returners have done a phenomenal job leading and helping our newcomers fall seamlessly into things with our program and find their opportunities to contribute and become part of what we're trying to do.
Last question for you. Every coach looks at stuff like this differently. Every program looks at stuff like this differently. But receiving votes in the D3 preseason poll just outside of the top 25, is that something that you pay attention to, or is it more just so nice for people to kind of look at and a place where you want to get to with this program?
Certainly a little bit of both, if I'm being honest. You always enjoy and appreciate the recognition that comes to your program. especially when you feel like there's some well-deserved recognition there. Certainly, it's always great to have a number in front of your name, throughout the season. The more important thing for us would be to have that number next to our name when the season ends, right? And so, obviously, we're thrilled to be recognized and to be receiving votes. It's a peer-driven, honor and an acknowledgement. And for us, it's hopefully just the start of things moving forward. We've got our sights set on some pretty, amazing opportunities this year. So again, the hope for us is going to be that by the time this is all said and done, there's a number next to our name when the season ends.
Really appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.